left, right, left, 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 move. Center, eight. Adjutant Major, at your command. Honor guard, present, who?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
please remain standing as I call Chief Chaplain Steve Stone up for the invocation of the ceremony.
Let us pray. God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as we gather today in joyous celebration, we do so with grateful hearts, and we offer you our prayers of thanks and seek your blessings. The words of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10 tells us that each of you should use whatever gifts you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. So, Father, your hand at work is evident and is seen here by the accomplishments of Trainee Class 31 and those who have brought them to this point. Now prepare them with your blessing as they ready themselves to use their gifts in serving others. Lord, this profession calls us away from our homes and families while we serve others. And while we do so, we pray for the continued love and support of our families and loved ones. When our work is done and we return home, we ask that you guide us in our deeds and actions, that we may give our families and loved ones the same quality attention, time, devotion, and love that we give others in service. These things we pray in your name. Amen.
Please be seated. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services Trainee Class 31. I'm Brad Tanner, the Director of Community Outreach and Media Affairs, and today I have the honor to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for this graduation. And as your MC, my main objective, as always, is to ensure that this event does not run any longer than what we've planned. Today, we celebrate the end of a rigorous 6-month training academy and wish the best of luck to the beginning of the next phase in your young careers as Howard County firefighters and paramedics. Congratulations to Howard County's newest first responders. I want to take a moment to recognize some of our honorable guests with us this afternoon, and when I call your name, please stand to be recognized, and if you would so kindly, please hold your applause until the end. Our Chief Administrative Officer, Lonnie Robbins, Maryland State Delegate Terry Hill, Howard County Council Member David Youngman, Maryland State Fire Marshal Brian Geraci, Annapolis Fire Chief Acting Douglas Romali, Howard County Clerk of the Court Wayne Roby, our HR Administrator, Wanda Hutchinson, Howard County Police Major, Mary Levy, Howard County Sheriff, Marcus Harris, retired Howard County Chief, Joseph Herr, International Association of Firefighters Local 2000, President, Rich Rule, Howard County Fire Officers Association, President, Ray Petrie, Phoenix Sentinels, President, D'Angelo Red, St. Florian's Brigade, President, Amy Bresnik, and the National Fire Academy Superintendent, Tanya Hoover. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. I also want to thank Grace Community Church and their staff for allowing us to use this beautiful facility for our event. Please help me congratulate and thank them as well. And before we begin, I want to make note that during the ceremony, we ask that you remain in your seats at all times. There may be moving parts throughout the ceremony, and this will ensure everyone's safety. And while we're on the topic of safety, everyone has noted the exits in the back. This is the fire department. We want to make sure we know how to get out of here safely, of course, in the event of an emergency. You'll also note that we do have a department photographer for our ceremonial presentations. All pictures taken will be made available for the trainees and their families after the event. We ask that those of you who want pictures of your graduates to please take them from your seats and to utilize the designated photo area in the lobby after the ceremony. All right, so now that we've established our house rules for today, let's get on with the show. We'll jump right into it with our opening remarks, and I'll invite to the stage Howard County's Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Lonnie Robbins.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you, Brad, for the introduction. As Chief Administrative Officer for Howard County, I work very closely with County Executive Calvin Ball. Although he could not be here today, I knew firsthand of his top priorities in ensuring that Howard County citizens receive first-rate public safety services. So on his behalf, I'd like to welcome everyone and extend my heartfelt congratulations to the graduates of Trainee Class 31. Some of you have dreamed of becoming a firefighter since you were young. Others came to this decision later in life. All of you come from different backgrounds and different life experiences, and that will serve you well. Over the past 6 months, you have trained tirelessly in the classroom as well as in the field. You have dedicated more than 1,300 hours in learning how to respond to emergencies, extinguish fires, contain hazardous materials, and ultimately save lives. You have received some of the best training available in the state. Because of that training and your experiences here, you'll be looked upon as leaders by your community and your peers. I am sure the training was tough, 6 months. From the reports I've heard, I know your instructors enjoyed putting you through the paces and throwing you a few curves. From time to time, testing you so that you would be the best of the best. They know that in critical situations, when your life and other lives depend on it, that in addition to relying upon technical knowledge, you must also be able to think on your feet, to respond quickly and dig deep for courage, instinct to do this job well. They take their job seriously and played an important role in helping you become well-trained, confident, prepared members of Howard County's Department of Fire and Rescue Services. So at this time, I'd also like to congratulate Chief Ewell, as well as our senior leadership team, for all the training academy staff, for all their hard work, and especially for inspiring and preparing these young, fine men and women to answer the call of public service, further showing that our community is in good hands. By the way, this is Chief Ewell's first graduation ceremony as our new chief. So this is a special honor for her as well. Let's give Chief Ewell and all of her instructors a big round of applause. For me, and I'm sure for many other Howard County residents in this room, it's frightening to imagine having a fire in your home or experiencing a car accident that would require emergency services. But if that should occur, it's reassuring to know, and I'm extremely grateful that we would receive excellent care and the best possible outcome because of the positive influence this academy has had on Trainee Class 31. As a first responder, rest assured there will be many different challenges you will occur that will affect our citizens, whether tragedy, despair, or even the joy of welcoming a new life. Keep in mind that how you treat others says everything about who you are, and more importantly, could affect the individual for the rest of his or her life. It is an extraordinary challenge and opportunity because so many people will look up to you and depend upon your expertise, compassion, integrity, and professionalism in their time of need. I know you're ready to begin your assignments and eager for your challenges that will come from spending time in our community assisting and protecting our citizens. And that is where the real education will begin. Graduation is an acknowledgement of accomplishment that represents a big transition for any firefighter from one phase of his or her life to another. Today's ceremony signifies that you have stepped forward to serve others. You have met the high marks, and you're now ready to assume the duties, responsibilities, and high honor of a Howard County firefighter. I believe you will enjoy many rewards in the months and years to come. As you save lives, you will inspire others, and you will earn respect and admiration of complete strangers, some of whom you will assist directly, others you simply meet on the street. So as you prepare to graduate, it is a great privilege to look at this class and to tell you how proud we are of you, of your accomplishments. We're proud of you for meeting the requirements for admission to this great department. We're proud of you for the training you've undertaken and sacrifices made to reach your goals. But we're most proud of you because of your aspiration and commitment to such a noble and selfless profession as a first responder in our highly esteemed community. So on behalf of County Executive Calvin Ball and all of Howard County, I want to thank you, and I also want to thank your families and friends for their encouragement and support. I know that makes a real difference. Godspeed, and please take care of yourselves, your fellow first responders, and our community. Again, congratulations to all of you on a job well done. Thank you.
I'd now like to invite our Fire Chief, Christine Ewell, to the stage for her opening remarks. Chief.
Good afternoon. This is exciting. I want to give a special thank you to the families in the room, the families of the trainees and the families of the instructors and academy staff. I know that there were a lot of long days and time away from your loved ones. I appreciate your sacrifices. To the academy staff, thank you for your dedication and your commitment to making this training class 31 a success. To the trainees, congratulations. Welcome to one of the best careers out there, but it's also one of the most dangerous, which is why for the past 6 months, your instructors and the academy staff pushed you. They educated you, they provided training, they allowed you to have practical application of the skills that you learned. They taught you how to be a firefighter and emergency medical responder. It was mentally and physically challenging, I'm sure. But that doesn't end today. In fact, it just begins. Because today you become part of a family, the family of the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services. The sisterhood and brotherhood is unlike anything that you can imagine. Your commitment to this organization will require many traits that embody what the fire service is. Things like dedication, integrity, and pride. Dedication to the citizens of Howard County, to provide emergency service, and to treat them how you want to be treated. Dedication to your sisters and brothers on the job. Make sure that you keep your skills where they need to be and continue your education. And dedication to yourself. Be diligent with your safety practices, set professional goals and achieve them, and never stop challenging yourself. Integrity. Be honest. Do the right thing. You now not only represent your families and yourself, but you represent the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services. And our community trusts our firefighters to keep them safe and to provide compassionate service. Pride. Be proud of this uniform and the organization that it represents. Many firefighters and leaders came before you and built this department. Courageous, innovative men and women that made this department what it is today. The best fire department in the state of Maryland. I'm sorry, I am biased. You are now part of that. Congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you all in the field.
All right, we'll now get on to our keynote speaker of the day, and our keynote speaker is Ms. Tanya Hoover. She is the superintendent of the U.S. Fire Administration's National Fire Academy. She was named to this position in May of 2017, As superintendent, Ms. Hoover provides leadership for the NFA, which focuses on enhancing the ability of fire and emergency services and allied professionals to deal more effectively with fire and related emergencies. Ms. Hoover is an accomplished executive with more than 20 years of management experience in both local and state government. She has successfully worked at high levels of government in developing and implementing fire protection, fire prevention, fire training, and community risk reduction programs. Ms. Hoover served as the California State Fire Marshal, where she was responsible for statewide fire prevention, fire service training, pipeline safety, code and regulations development, and analysis and implementation. Prior to, Ms. Hoover served as a Fire Marshal Battalion Chief for a local fire department and was a Deputy Campus Fire Marshal for the University of California at Berkeley. Ms. Hoover served on the Board of Directors for the National Fire Protection Association, also known as the NFPA, and she currently serves on the International Fire Service Training Association Board of Directors, the Underwriters Laboratory Fire Council, and is an active committee member with the International Code Council. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our keynote speaker, Ms. Tanya Hoover.
Wow. How's everybody doing? I was just going to get ready to say, I think you guys can smile now. Oh, good afternoon, everyone. It is just overwhelming to be here with you today. This is by far one of the favorite things that I get to do, is to be part of a graduation of such an incredible profession. There is no better profession than this that we call fire and emergency services. I bring greetings and congratulations from the United States Fire Administrator, Chief Keith Bryant, and the U.S. Deputy Fire Administrator, Dr. Dennis O'Neill, as well as the entire United States Fire Administration team. I think it's even more special to be here because sitting in Emmitsburg, Maryland, we know the Maryland Fire Service and we are connected to the Maryland Fire Service, so when I get to speak to the Maryland Fire Service, it always means something special. So this is a really big day for everybody. They will smile later, I promise. And it is just the start of an amazing adventure. An adventure that now turns into a career. Before you place one foot in front of the other to walk this wonderful path that you've chosen, you need to do one thing first. This is to all of you sitting here, not smiling. First, you need to start off by saying thank you to all of those people out there. Thank you to each family member and friend and cohort that's here today. That these people have walked this journey with you. They may not have been in the classroom, but while you were in the classroom, they were making sure all the other stuff was getting done. They were taking care of business at home. They've supported you. They kept things in check while you completed your academy. No one does it alone, and it's important that you never forget that. No one does anything alone. So I'm going to say it for them. Thank you for all of your support and dedication to those people. So I'm going to keep on target because I know we have limited time. We want to get to the good stuff. So I wanted to share a few thoughts with the class today. And as you enter this next phase of what is an incredible opportunity, and I also believe it's a gift to be here, to be part of this profession. First of all, always look to the future. If we think back to when the fire service began, a very long time ago, before I had gray hair, this career of over 250 years that really fire helped form a nation. Fire has been a bond for a country, and it has represented so many things. But when we look to the future, what happened in the past is not what we see now. The future will continue to change. Our fire service will continue to change as it has. Today is the past. It is now the past again. It's important to value the past, learn from the past, but to move forward. There are learning opportunities everywhere. Use them. Every moment, every effort, every interaction is an opportunity. Never stop learning. Those opportunities are learning moments. Never stop learning. I guarantee that you will never know it all. No matter how many stripes you get on a sleeve, how many stars or how many bugles you wear, you will never know it all. Continue to learn. You may find this one hard to believe, but sometimes we make mistakes. Every one of us sitting here, every one of us standing have made mistakes. And the last time I checked, we're all human. And that is what we do as humans. We make mistakes. The key is what we learn from that mistake or those mistakes and how we approach the mistake. Again, it's a learning opportunity. I use that on my 28-year-old all the time. What have we learned? It's an opportunity. Sometimes she listens. Again, it's what we do with the mistake after we commit it that helps determine our success. So there's a few favorite movies I have. Star Wars, Indiana Jones. Okay, I'm a little older than you all. But one that I've always kind of gravitated to, and maybe because I'm a Pennsylvania girl, is I've been big into the Rocky series. I don't know if it was Sylvester Stallone or if it was just the fact that I just loved the whole concept of the Rocky series. So the last movie, you all may not have seen this one, but there's a movie called Rocky Balboa. Do you remember that one? It's okay to shake your heads. Yeah, okay. It's a tough crowd. In the movie Rocky Balboa, if you remember that movie, there's a scene where his son is feeling just like, Dad, I'm in your shadow all the time. And so Rocky gives a speech that only Rocky Balboa can do, but it really kind of resonates with me when we're talking about progressing in life. And no, I am not going to do the Philly accent because I can't do it. But Rocky says to his son, the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees if you let it. You, not me or anyone, can hit as hard as life. It's not about how hard you hit, but how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. You got to be willing to take the hits and not point the finger, saying that you aren't what you want to be because of him or because of her or because of anybody else. The bottom line to that is you got to believe in yourself, you get up, and you keep moving forward because this job can be tough. Tough. There will be those moments that you are stretched to your near limit. Don't go it alone. There is no shame or weakness in asking for help. It's the duty of your supervisor to help you get you what you need. We, the fire service, work at getting our folks prepared physically and work at preparing them mentally. It is our responsibility to work with those professionals that can help our teams be mentally fit. Mental fitness is just as important as your physical fitness. This hobby that becomes a passion has now become your career. And when you can take something and turn it into a career, that's amazing. Doesn't get any better than that. Remember to say yes. There are opportunities that you can't even imagine. So a little side story. So when they ask you to speak about something, they usually want you to kind of give little highlights. So can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? So one of the areas was, can you talk a little bit about yourself? I hate talking about myself. I'd much rather talk about other people. Oh, that didn't sound right. I'd much rather share with other folks. So, though I will tell a little story about myself. About 40 years ago, for those of you that are doing math, I started when I was 12. In case you're wondering. So about 40 years ago, this young woman from a small volunteer fire department, just north of here, Pennsylvania, had the opportunity to learn and grow. She took a hobby that was a family commitment. Whole family was involved in the volunteer fire service, and learned about the commitment to community with people that believed that everyone, or even on those days she was not being her smartest. Remember that whole thing about we all make mistakes? Yeah. And could be described as failing. Did that once or twice. She developed a passion for the work. That passion turned into an opportunity to go to college, move across country, to do some pretty amazing things. That those amazing things allowed her to engage in a state with the 6th largest economy in the world, pretty big government, to be a local chief officer, to then become the state fire marshal for California, and the opportunity to transition 2 administrations, 2 different administrations, Republican, Democrat, and finally have the opportunity to serve as the superintendent of the National Fire Academy for the United States Fire Administration. It doesn't get any better than that in this profession. You never know where it's going to take you. My story in a nutshell. This profession can take you places if you're willing to go there. If you're willing to experience, face your fears, and say yes to the opportunities. Step up, step out, step in. Don't be afraid to make a mistake along the way. It builds life experiences. Those experiences will pay you back triple-fold. And remember, it's what you do with the lesson you learned. Keep getting up. Congratulations, and thank you.
All right, so who's going to recite her bio? Because we're going to do an exam on that later. You guys ready? No? It's really important that you guys understand what she's saying, because we're really honored to have her, and thank you again, Ms. Hoover, for being here. This is amazing. So you've heard from a lot of intelligent leaders here, not including myself today, so far. But the purpose for us being here is to celebrate the obstacles that these 35 trainees have successfully negotiated over the past 6 months. Now, I think it's time to hear about it from their perspective. For the Academy class remarks, please help me welcome trainee James Michael Dietrich to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to County Executive Dr. Calvin Ball, Mr. Robbins, Chief Ewell, the Academy and staff, family and friends. Thank you to everyone being here, and to highlight the fact that even though this is the graduation of Academy Class 31, this occasion also marks the achievements of all the friends and family who have supported us on our path to success in this great career. We work with tireless dedication to get the job done, but it wouldn't have been possible without the love and support of you all. My name is firefighter trainee James Dietrich, and the class had asked me to speak on behalf of everyone to address you this afternoon. The mission statement for Howard County Department Fire and Rescue Services is to provide a safe environment and high quality of life in Howard County by educating, protecting, and serving our citizens, members, and visitors. Educate, protect, and serve are the three cornerstones from which we have built our training during our time in the academy, and we would like to use them as touch points to share some of our experiences with you. First, educate. Starting with early morning report times before the sunrise, daily physical training, marching in formation, the attention to detail hammered into us for even the smallest of tasks, and the late night with countless hours of studying that often spilled into the weekends. Our time in the academy has been quite a commitment, and we have all learned a lot. From EMT with the infamous My Brady computer homework, which I'm sure all family members were acutely aware of how thorough that study time was, through the fire classes and how physically exhausting all of us were upon arrival at home, to the other classes such as hazmat and vehicle machinery extrication, which had us sweating the finals each week. I'm not sure if the anxiety to pass our written tests increased or decreased as we neared the end of our time here, but the instructors were never without helpful motivation. We received everything from, "You'll be fine," to "Don't worry, it's only your job on the line." And if anyone vocalized stress out loud, one instructor always seemed to be within earshot to ask us if we needed a drinking straw. Being good trainees that we would ask, why would we need a straw to do anything that we were doing? Relishing the moment, he would so colorfully say, "To suck it up." Yep, it got us every time. There's an old proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We have all come a long way. Some of us have been lucky enough to start careers here, and some have worked years to get to this point. We have come from varying backgrounds on our journey to be here today. Some of us were in human resources, physical therapy, personal training, hospitality, public works, and other fire departments. We also have 2 former police officers. The grass is greener on the fire side. And we even have a lawyer. Seriously? A lawyer? Just don't tell the union guys, okay, Nick? Your secret's safe with us. It would be appropriate to take a moment to give recognition to those recruits who have served in the armed services previous to being here. Please stand as your branch has called. We have members from the Air Force, Army, and Marines. Anyone in attendance who has served and is currently serving in these branches or other branches such as Navy or Coast Guard, please stand and be recognized. Thank you all very much. Please be seated. The next cornerstone is protect. Protecting our citizens, members, and visitors is fundamental to why we chose this career. During our time here, however, we also learned that protecting also pertains to our responsibility to look out for one another. As positive as this experience has been, and with as large as our class is over the past 6 months, it has been impossible to avoid the challenging aspects that life presents outside of the job. Unfortunately, we've had deaths in the family, personal injuries of loved ones, sick children at home, and one trainee became a father a few months ago to a daughter who needed a lot of medical attention, including many surgeries. All the while, balancing home life, these trainees never missed anything that was required and fulfilled all duties expected of them to be successful. We're pleased to share that Trainee Lovell and his wife brought home their beautiful, healthy daughter for the first time 3 weeks ago. Congratulations. As a class, we learned quickly what brotherhood is and how important it is for success in this job. People pulled together every time to offer pre-cooked meals, cash for gift cards. I ran out of gas one time, thanks Baczynski for rescuing me. And even the simple phone calls were made to make sure that others were okay. This career is not just a job, we are a family. Lastly, to serve. The duty to serve our community is rooted deep within all of us, and moving forward, one word that comes to mind that we should all carry with us throughout our career is courage. This job is inherently dangerous, and we will have to take calculated risks. We all did take the chance on ourselves to be here today. We had the courage to bet on ourselves to be successful. Courage comes from a French word meaning from the heart. I think in our culture, that would better be described as passion. But to take action in the face of danger requires both a passion to help people and the courage to recognize danger and still accomplish our job despite it. In closing, always remember, educate, never stop learning. Protect those in your community and the new brothers and sisters next to you. Serve with courage. The trainees of Class 31 are the future of Howard County DFRS, and we are ready and willing to face those challenges. Excellence is a practice, not an act. Class, please rise. 31!
Gets it done!
Please be seated. Traditionally, graduating classes have offered a gift to the Academy and instructors as a measure of gratitude. Our gift of appreciation and contribution towards the success of future classes is a Firehouse kitchen table, a meeting place where important topics are discussed, bonds are created and strengthened over broken bread, and dramatic stories of fires are told, and sometimes maybe embellished, just a little bit. Handcrafted by trainees Bennett and Liebno, the base is constructed from sprinkler pipes and decorated with sprinkler heads. The top is made from oak and finished with the class logo and the names of the trainees along with the instructors from Class 31. It is on display at the main entrance for all to see. To our instructors, to the Academy, we most gratefully dedicate this table. Thank you very much.
A lot of scripts up here. So we're going to move on now to the class valedictorian presentation, and to facilitate that, I call to the stage Captain D'Angelo Red and Captain Douglas Walsh.
Good afternoon. Captain Red and I have the honor of introducing Trainee Class 31's valedictorian. This trainee not only excelled in the academic portion, averaging a 4.0 GPA, but also excelled in the physical fitness portion, averaging 5.5-minute miles during the fitness runs. This trainee reported every morning with a positive attitude and a willingness to apply 100% in every task. This positive attitude was infectious to his classmates, which was instrumental to the overall success of the Academy. This trainee is Trainee Zechariah Graybill.
Before we begin the next portion of the ceremony, the badging portion. It's been mentioned before from our opening remarks and a little bit from our keynote, but I want to take a moment to recognize the wonderful Education and Training Academy staff. If you had any part in delivering this past Academy class, please stand to be recognized. Come on, guys. Thank you. I also want to thank the various bureaus who supported the Academy. And we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize specifically the Bureau of Occupational Safety and Health, who have created a comprehensive physical and behavioral health and wellness educational program for these trainees and for those to come. This program over time has increased firefighter trainees' appreciation and awareness for physical and mental health, such as Ms. Hoover had mentioned. And we're talking specifically heart attack, cancer, and suicide in the fire service. And of course, we're tooting our own horn here, but Howard County remains ahead of the curve because it's programs and educations like this that'll keep our firefighters and paramedics healthy throughout their careers. So thank you to Fire Chief Christine Ewell, Deputy Chief William Maniszewski, Assistant Chief Jose Sanchez, Retired Assistant Chief and current Baltimore County Fire Chief Joanne Runn, and Battalion Chief Ray Norris for approving and establishing this program. Thank you. Okay, now we can begin the badging portion of the ceremony. So for this portion of the ceremony, I ask that the ceremonial committee please take your place on stage. And as a reminder for those of you in the audience, please only take pictures from your seats, and you can hold your applause to the end of this portion of the ceremony, but I'm sure it'll be difficult to do when you get excited. And to help expedite this process, you'll note that obviously we had our pinnings for the trainees, which occurred before the ceremony. We do, however, have a few uniformed family members who will be badging their trainees on stage. I now direct your attention to the center screen as the trainees will self-announce.
I am Trainee Kareem Al-Alfi from Howard County, Maryland. I just want to first of all thank my family and my friends, and especially my girlfriend, for helping me through this entire process and supporting me. And I also want to thank all the instructors for helping me through the entire process, since all of this was completely brand new to me.
Trainee Zechariah Bennett from Howard County. I'd just like to thank my parents and especially my wife for keeping the house running while I've been pretty busy in academy.
Trainee Ben Boshinsky from Howard County, Maryland. I'd like to thank my wonderful wife for supporting me through this, as well as Pope and Christy for teaching me everything I know.
I'm Trainee Donald Denise from Newark, Delaware. I'd like to thank my mom and dad, family and friends for all their love and support during this. Josh Schulich and Chris DeLong for their mentorship and leadership during this. And I'd like to thank the instructional staff for all that they've done for us.
My name is Trainee Michael Dietrich from Bel Air, Maryland. I'd like to thank my family for the support through the academy process and Howard County Fire and Rescue for giving me this opportunity at a great career.
Trainee Claude Dent from Savage, Maryland. I'll go ahead and thank my wife for dealing with this, the whole academy, not killing me in my sleep and then saying I had a horrible, horrible accident, so I'd stop doing the academy. I want to thank the people that really kind of pushed me to keep applying to Howard County. All the mentors I had growing up throughout the years that pushed me in the fire service to kind of strive for excellence. Definitely wouldn't be here if not for those people.
Trainee Alexander Dillon from Baltimore County, Maryland. I'd like to say thank you to my parents, my girlfriend, my classmates, and the instructors.
Trainee Katie Dyer from Montgomery County, Maryland. And I'd just like to thank my parents and my daughter for their unconditional support through this.
Trainee Nicholas Fierno. I'm from Kent Island, Maryland. I just want to thank my girlfriend Amanda for being so supportive through all this, my family, and all the instructors.
My name is Trainee Zachary Flick. I'm from Ellicott City, Maryland, and I'd like to thank my family and friends for their continued ongoing support throughout the process, and also the great instructional staff that gave us all the tools that we needed to succeed.
Trainee Gamis. I'm from Anne Arundel County, Maryland. I'd like to thank my family for supporting me through the process. And I'd like to thank the instructors for taking their time to give me the proper training to succeed.
This is Trainee Jason Grant from Columbia, Maryland. I'd like to thank my family, all my friends, my fellow trainees, all the instructors that pushed me to get through, and most importantly, my children, JJ, Cree, and Kaya. This is who I do it for.
Trainee Zechariah Graybill from Hagerstown, Maryland. I'd like to first thank God. I'd like to thank Howard County for giving me this amazing opportunity. I'd like to thank the instructors for imparting all their knowledge and wisdom upon us. I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Caitlin, for always pushing me to be better. And finally, I'd like to thank my parents for raising me right.
I'm Trainee Kirk Hess. I'm from Edgewater, Maryland. I'd like to thank all the instructors for their guidance and wisdom, my family, girlfriend, and friends for their love and support. I look forward to the future with these guys.
Trainee April Johns from Mount Airy, Maryland. I want to thank all of my instructors for getting me to graduation. Thank you, Captain Gerber and P Squad, for making me an official paramedic. Erin, thank you for being my constant support system. And of course, my family and everyone from TFL.
I'm Trainee Kern Kelly from Anne Arundel County, and I'd like to thank my family, my mentors, and my instructors for getting me to this point. And I'd also like to thank Shoemaker. I think his experience as RT has been very valuable for us in our training.
Trainee Timothy Laird from Wilmington, Delaware. I'd like to thank my wife, Caitlin, for all her help during the process, and all my friends and family who helped me get where I am today.
Trainee Fred Levon from Baltimore County, Maryland. I would like to thank my family for helping me through the whole process, my friends for supporting me, and all the instructors for pushing me to do my very best.
Trainee Tim Liebno. I'm born and raised in Howard County, Maryland, and I'd like to thank my parents and my family for sticking with me and the instructional staff from the Academy.
Trainee Sean Lillis. I'm from Hanover, Pennsylvania. I'd like to thank my fiance, family, all the instructors, and anyone that has helped me learn in the past to help me succeed.
Trainee Frederick Lovell from Fredericksburg, Virginia. I would like to thank my family, especially my wife, for being as supportive as she's been through this academy. I also like to thank my instructors for having the patience with me and making sure I understand everything in its entirety.
Trainee Alex Mccall from Washington, D.C. I'd like to thank my wife and my mother for holding the house down. I'd like to thank the instructional staff, my classmates for the support, and I'd definitely like to thank my mustache.
Trainee Erin Meisel from Howard County, Maryland. I'd like to thank my mother. She's kind of the glue that holds my family together, kind of what got me to the point where I am now. I also like to thank all the instructors here at the Academy. They did an amazing job teaching me what I needed to know. Thank you.
Trainee Joshua Maluski from Silver Spring, Maryland. I would like to thank my wife, who has been there for me through this entire training class, my wonderful daughter, who everything this is all for, and all of my instructors who led me to become a better EMT and led me to my dream of becoming a firefighter.
Trainee Jake Osler from Hanover, Pennsylvania. I'd like to thank my family for their love and support, and Trainee Denise and Trainee Lillis for making the morning car rides and afternoon car rides a lot easier.
Ready, sit.
Trainee Gabriel Palemo from Montgomery County, Maryland. I'd like to thank my family and friends for their support. I'd like to thank the instructors for hanging in there and dealing with our nonsense. I'd also like to thank Captain Gerber for his PT program and keeping us trim and fit. And also any guest instructors for getting us to this point.
Trainee Woodrow Ridgely from Mount Airy, Maryland. I'd like to thank my family, my classmates, and my instructors for supporting me through this academy.
And Trainee Benjamin Robinson from Sykesville, Maryland. I'd like to thank my parents for raising me to be who I am today. My legs for always keeping me up, my arms for always being at my side.
Trainee Jacob Selby from Baltimore County, Maryland. I want to take this time to thank my family and friends for supporting me through this. It's been a great journey so far, and I can't thank them enough for all their support.
My name is Trainee Luke Shoemaker. I'm from Frederick, Maryland. And I just want to thank my family and friends for being supportive of my career change and being there for me along the way.
My name is Ashton Stinnett from Howard County, Maryland. I would like to thank my mother and my brothers for getting me through this experience.
Trainee Jada Talley from Baltimore, Maryland. I'd like to thank my #1 supporter, my mom, for encouraging me and keeping me afloat throughout the entire academy. I would also like to thank my boyfriend for being my rock and taking care of my every needs on a daily basis.
Trainee Joseph Tebow from Arbutus, Maryland. I'd like to thank the entire academy staff, as well as all of the instructors. And I'd also like to thank my entire family, as well as especially my amazing wife and 2 beautiful daughters.
Okay, I'm Trainee Keith Winkles from Woodstock, Maryland. I want to thank all my friends and family for helping me get through this. Without you guys, I couldn't have done it. Especially my wife, really supporting me through the way.
Trainee Ryan Witchy from Huntingtown, Maryland. I just want to take a second to thank my girlfriend, my family, and the instructional staff of the academy, everyone who's helped along the way throughout the whole process.
I now call to the stage the Howard County Clerk of the Court, Wayne Roby, for the official oath.
Class 31, please stand and raise your right hands. Repeat after me, please. I. Young lady, state your name.
Caitlin Dyer.
Alexander Dillon. Claude Dent. James Dietrich. Donald Denise. Ben Bushinsky. Zechariah Bennett. Kareem Alfi. Nicholas Fierno. Zachary Flynn. Christian Gavin. Jason Grant. Zechariah Graybill. Eric Hass. Kern Kelly. Ryan Witchy. Keith Winkle. Joseph Edward Tebow III. Jade Tal. Ashton Simmons. Luke Shoemaker. Jake Selby. Benjamin Robinson. Hoover Ridley. Gabriel Palumbo. Timothy Laird. Fred Levon. Timothy Leadno. Sean Lillis. Frederick Lovell.
Alex Mccall.
Erin Meisel.
Joshua Maluski.
Jacob Osler. Do solemnly affirm.
Do solemnly affirm.
That I will support the Constitution.
That I will support the Constitution.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
That I will be faithful.
That I will be faithful.
And bear true allegiance.
And bear true allegiance.
To the state of Maryland.
To the state of Maryland.
Support the state Constitution.
Support the state Constitution.
And laws thereof.
And laws thereof.
Support the Howard County Code.
Support the Howard County Code.
The policies and procedures.
The policies and procedures.
Of the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue.
Of the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue.
And that I will.
And that I will.
To the best of my skill and judgment.
To the best of my skill and judgment.
Diligently and faithfully.
Diligently and faithfully.
Without partiality or prejudice.
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the duties of a first responder for the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services, according to the Constitution and laws of this state. Congratulations.
Folks, they have officially dropped the trainee designation. You are now looking officially at Recruit Class 31. Please be seated. I know you guys couldn't control yourself. Just had to do it. Happy hours at 5. All right, so we're now going to begin the Recruit Class 31 video. This is something that we do for basically every graduating class. And this video will show our families and friends some of the scenes of what this class endured over the 6 months. Enjoy.
Really tight. We knew we could rely on each other to accomplish any task. I think that was pretty evident when we did the National Guard obstacle course.
And very glad we got a chance to do it, really push people to their limits and kind of give people a taste of sort of the challenges that they're about to have in the academy and where we're going, and overall that this is no cakewalk and you have to put forth the effort.
It was great to get a chance to work on team building at the obstacle course with my classmates, just to get everyone's different viewpoints and different thoughts they had on how to solve the puzzles was really cool to see.
Going through this was a lot harder than I thought, but getting in here and doing it and having the support of all my classmates and the push from the instructors and all the knowledge to build off of has created a strong team and really built us into some strong candidates to get out in the field and get some work done for our community.
In my opinion, it was excellent. I mean, I got to work with everyone that's going to be a part of my family in the fire department. Got to see what they're capable of, and it was very motivating.
It was a blast. We got to play on an adult-sized jungle gym all day. We had a fantastic time.
Yeah, definitely at first it was a little nerve-wracking just because this is a completely new experience for me.
but knowing that 40 other people also are experiencing the same thing, we were able to come together as a team, and we were able to balance out our strengths and weaknesses together.
Fighting fires. I wanna be a firefighter. I wanna be a firefighter. Tell me there's no honor higher. Tell me there's no honor higher.
You don't realize how much you actually have to know until like you sit there and you start reading the book, and it's like there's so much information that you don't realize you need to know until you need to know it.
The staff is really good at making sure that everybody understands what they need to do and how to be successful in this career. There's a lot of knowledge and experience between all of them, and it was great to hear all their experiences and to let them kind of teach us and guide, especially some of the guys that don't have any experience, what to expect and how to be successful and have a long career.
Definitely, I was a little intimidated the first time I came up to the ambulance just because I've never driven anything that big. But with the proper training that I got from all the instructors, right now I feel much more comfortable driving those.
The ambulances, driving around a 20,000 pound rig, checking out all the air brakes. It's something new to me.
Over the past week, I'd say EVOC, hitting the cones, everyone hitting the cones, and getting a idea for how big the vehicles actually are is pretty funny. So.
Get yourself in shape and ready for response. It's a good part of the day to keep you moving and get ready to learn.
Somewhat prepared for it. They're always going to push you. You always have to grow. You find different motivators for different people to keep them going so you can all stick as one.
Every day was a challenge for me, and a challenge I looked forward to.
During EMT class, they gave us a lot of complex scenarios that are really real world near the end of our class that really set us up for success that we can see when we're out in the field.
EMT was a great learning experience. There's so much to learn about the human body. I mean, the anatomy, the physiology, different things like that. So I really enjoyed EMT.
During our paramedic refresher, I truly realized how progressive Howard County is as a whole department.
Like scenario days and how elaborate that training is the most in-depth training I've ever done anywhere.
First call, in the middle of the semester before we even did finals, I got to do a ride-along. And my first call was to a cardiac arrest. I'll never forget doing CPR on a patient for the first time.
Especially interesting to go out during Fridays and see that in real people and know how to treat it.
My toolbox, or like my knowledge base, definitely grew a ton.
Scenario 30s were a great experience. Got a lot of handling time and one-on-one practice.
Our
patients are getting the best treatment every single time.
Being an EMT in the first place, or any kind of medicine, is you never, even if you've done 30 years, you'll never be done learning.
Going into fire and doing stuff isn't easy. It's definitely physically demanding.
Fire, everything's been just a brand new part of my life, and everything's become like this amazing, crazy, scary journey that has just built me up to become something better.
It was amazing for me to discover how technical firefighting really is. It's not just putting water on fire. There's so much intricate knowledge you have to know. Like
a lot of time to work on those skills in a practical aspect to give us, more of a real life experience than just sitting in a classroom and learning that way.
I've never been a part of a large fire before, so just getting to see it start up for the first time was an experience I'll never forget.
You have to know how to operate and clean and maintain a saw. Then from there you could go over and you have to know how to advance a hose line, and then from there you have to know how to set up a ladder, and it's a bunch of intricate tasks that are independently different, but all together come to make the entire thing work.
They really push you in learning every bit and piece of it.
I really like the combined evolutions, where it actually seemed like we were out working in the field. It wasn't so much a training academy scenario. It was real life.
I enjoyed the fire program. That's what I was looking forward to the most, and it definitely lived up to my expectations, and I learned a lot from all the instructors there.
Realistic for us, going in, everyone doing their separate jobs need to be done and working together to accomplish one goal.
Things that stood out the most to me are kind of put all the puzzle pieces together was doing all the mock calls, both for EMS and fire, because before we would break everything down into bits and pieces, but then when we finally did the mock calls and put everything all together,
that's really the goal of Howard County, and everything that they give to us is to make the people who we serve and the people who we're trying to help to make their lives better.
Just the overall thought process of being a firefighter is something that's very intricate, and there's a lot to go into it that a lot of people don't think about.
Fire was great. We had plenty of time to burn, a lot of skills, and instructors were great.
It was definitely one of the most challenging things probably I've ever done in my life.
A lot of people think it's way simpler than it is, but what we learn here in the academy is like way beyond what people think is the knowledge of a firefighter.
So I was really nervous going in, and coming out I was like, I can do it.
I think it's an important skill to learn because it's one of those things you don't think about too often, but when it does happen, it's really important.
What bag is going to be
One of the most difficult parts of site ops was getting used to putting the pulley systems together and being able to trust the equipment. Going down the hill, everyone had to be on the same page, and I think that was one of the more difficult parts, leaning back into the system and being able to trust it.
Site ops was definitely fun. It was challenging. doing stuff out practically, seeing like how every little part makes a big difference in a big picture and how they all come together.
The right techniques and where to hook into your harness, so you weren't literally being drug up and you had some good footing. But overall it was a lot of fun and very challenging.
Swiftwater rescue was a really surreal experience for me. You think you can swim until you get in that water, and just the sheer force of it's definitely something to behold.
It was interesting to see how strong the current was. I kind of underestimated it at first, and when you hop in, you actually feel the power of the water. And at first, it's intimidating, and then after, it's kind of fun once you realize that you're okay.
It was controlled drowning. There was definitely a little bit of panic that you have to shove down and remember to keep swimming. It was an intense day.
Swiftwater was definitely my favorite day of the academy. I thought I was a good swimmer until it proved me wrong, but it was definitely really, really enlightening and a fun experience.
Cutting and spreading cars, you learn a lot about how they work and how to save lives and how to use those tools to your advantage to get to the patient.
I just think it's incredible the power of hydraulic spreaders and what those tools can do to really save lives.
Okay, auto extrication was like a puzzle. You had to find the pieces, put them in the right spot, and sometimes it took a process. But in the end, it was gratifying.
There's a lot of new tools and techniques that we were able to learn, and it was a good chance to actually get hands-on with that as well and physically cut up cars and have realistic situations where vehicles were all over the place and get to come up with a plan and implement and execute the entire plan from start to finish.
O King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he,
O King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he,
He called for his pipe and he called for his bowl and he called for his firemen three,
He called for his pipe and he called for his bowl and he called for his firemen three,
Beer, 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 said the fireman.
Beer, 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 said the fireman.
Merry men are we.
Merry men are we.
O King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he,
O King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he,
Called for his pipe and he called for his bowl and he called for his medics too,
Called for his pipe and he called for his bowl and he called for his medics too,
We want sleep, said the medics.
We want sleep, said the medics.
Beer, 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 said the firemen.
Beer, 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 said the firemen.
Merry men are we.
Merry men are we.
Oh, King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he,
Oh, King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he,
Called for his pipe and he called for his bowl and he called for his whiskey one,
Called for his pipe and he called for his
I think I'm obligated by the Office of Law to let you know that no cones or mannequins were injured in the creation of that video. We'll now move on to our final portion of the ceremony, which is the change of command. I call to the stage Battalion Chief Dale Becker to facilitate this portion.
Today, the primary purpose of the change of command is to allow subordinates to witness the formal transfer of total command from one officer to another. This ceremony provides the experience of command change to Academy graduates while keeping a tradition and stimulating a spirit de corps. As this time-honored tradition continues, I call Deputy Chief William Anishevsky, Operations Support, and Acting Deputy Chief Gordon Wallace, Operations Front and Center. Today, Deputy Chief William Anishevsky, Operations Support Command, from whom the training class has been assigned the last 6 months, will relinquish command of the now graduating recruits to Acting Deputy Chief Gordon Wallace, Operations Command, where the majority will be assigned for the remainder of their career. The bugle symbolizes leadership and command.
Chief Wallace, I proudly attest and affirm that the graduating members of Trainee Class 31 have met the Academy standards of Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services in accordance with all local, state, and federal requirements. And as such, they are now classified as firefighter recruits. I relinquish command to you. My commitment that Recruit Class 31 continues the commitment to protect and serve visitors to and residents of Howard County, Maryland. It is my honor to assume the command of these fine recruits. Remember my words so that they can continue to keep that passion. Coming over my command now. Next week, one day, you'll have your first shift in the fire station, beginning of the rest of your career. I want you to learn, I want you to grow, I want you to never be complacent in your jobs. I task you with striving to enhance your knowledge, skills, and abilities every day for the rest of your careers. Look out for each other, look out for your new shipmates, educate yourselves, and train. Train hard, train like you fight. And then smile at some point this weekend when we see you.
Please rise as I call Chaplain Stone back to the podium for the benediction of our ceremony.
Please join me in prayer. Loving God, as we conclude this celebration and prepare to go about our lives and duties, we pray that you go with us. Thank you for the depth and richness of your love of us and the many gifts you have given us. Bless the recruits of Class 31 as they begin their careers in this great profession of service to mankind. As they go forward, we pray that they do so, always keeping their faith before them. Bless them to a service of honor in your name, and also in the memory of their brothers and sisters who have gone before them in this fine career field. Bless our families and reassure them that while we are away, that we are one another's keeper. This duty is our solemn obligation, and we shall keep it. Father, keep the memories of this, Father, keep the members of this department and those of the worldwide fire service perpetually in your care. Give them strength and fortitude to faithfully serve all of your people in need. Bless them with continued support of loved ones, community, and leaders. Amen.
All right, well, this concludes our graduation ceremony. We ask that you please stay near your seats for the dismissal of Recruit Class 31. For those of you looking for photo ops, you'll note the designated photo area in the lobby. Thank you all again for attending this afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend and stay safe.